What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. Where this episode for Wrestling Talk is brought to you by Laid Back TV, okay? Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, all the languages, all the HVOs. Go on laidbacktv.com on your screen so you can see how you can download it in your iPhones, Androids, and your Fire Sticks, and give them a shout out on their Instagram on official _ Laidback TV. Now, let's get into some wrestling talk because we got a lot. Woohoo! Alright, so a lot to digest. Let's get on to SmackDown because this was Elimination Chamber weekend. Not only Elimination Chamber weekend, but final stop for Road to WrestleMania. Okay, as far as PLEs go. So SmackDown went down. Sorry, it's a little snowy out here. Let's see. So Jey Uso right off the motherfucking bat gets attacked. Allegedly, it was probably the Vision, but Jey Uso gets attacked, and he's getting taken out of the chamber. Now, it's so mixed up on how the chamber has been changing. Storylines have been changing. It's not good. It's not fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are going to be at WrestleMania live at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, but how the card for WrestleMania was supposed to look and how it looks now is like, holy shit. Desperate times, desperate measures. We're not just competing with WrestleMania 41. We're competing with WrestleMania 40. Okay? Everybody's getting injured. It's got nothing to do with the storylines. Everybody's just getting injured. And, you know, this all started when Bronson Reed was allegedly supposed to be in the Elimination Chamber, and he got injured, tore his bicep. Jey Uso gets the win. He's getting placed in, but he gets attacked. So they decide to do Logan Paul versus Jacob Fatu for the first time. And Logan Paul defeats Jacob Fatu for the spot with the help of Drew McIntyre, the undisputed WWE champion. And a masked man ends up pulling out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And he gets his ass kicked with his mask being taken off, and it's somebody we don't know, but allegedly he's a student of the masked man was a guy who was not only trained at the Nightmare Factory at Cody Rhodes School, but he trained at Seth Rollins School as well. So interesting SmackDown. Let's get into Elimination Chamber that was live in Chicago, Illinois, at the legendary United Center. I'm talking the legendary United Center, where practically the Bulls won all their 6 championships. You know what I mean? I've been there before at the United Center. It's iconic. You know, Scottie Pippen was always my favorite player, so a lot of legendary shit. So let's get into the matches, and then we're gonna announce who had the best entrance, best ring gear, MVP of the night, and the match of the night. Alright, just like how PLEs we do, you know what I mean? So, let's get into it. The Women's Elimination Chamber match with the winner taken on, due to the decision-making of Liv Morgan choosing Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. Women's Elimination Chamber match gets pretty much Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. It was great. It was great. You had Alexa Bliss in there. You had Kiana James. You had Raquel Rodriguez. You had Asuka. Who else was in that motherfucker? Tiffany Stratton. You know what I'm saying? A lot of names with a lot of motherfucking resumes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody was a world champion except Kiana James. And I did say before on the lead up and review of Elimination Chamber that Kiana James sticking out as the only non-world champion in that whole women's match, you gotta shine. You gotta shine. Everybody has done shit. You had former Money in the Bank winners, former Elimination Chamber winners, former Royal Rumble winners, former world champions. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to this shit that you need to catch up on. And you were placed in there for a fucking reason against all 5. So, with that being said, you got to leave a fucking statement. And I think Kiana James left a pretty good fucking statement. She was waiting on standby, which really did make sense. Well, it didn't make sense. I don't mean to make sense. It was actually creative. I apologize. And she fucking waited until those chambers opened, and she attacked. Usually whoever comes out the chambers starts attacking. They got the upper hand. Not her. She said, "Fuck this shit. I'm going for whoever's coming for that chamber. Whoever's coming out of one of the chambers, because I'm gonna make sure they're gonna get to our level being worn out just like me." So shout out to her. I rated this match a 5. This was actually an entertaining match. It had levels of starting in the beginning, and it was interesting. Then it died down a little bit, and I was like, all right, how you can save this is the finish. And that finish, Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, all at the end, Rhea Ripley wins it. You know what I'm saying? Especially her dive off the top of the chamber. I thought I thought it would make sense for Rhea Ripley to win this. You know what I mean? We need a babyface that's a marquee player, and we already seen Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill is how Jade Cargill won the title. But we've seen that match like 3 fucking times, even on one of the biggest SummerSlam stages of all time. You know what I mean? Last year, and it just didn't hit it. It didn't move the needle. Basically, Rhea Ripley is the perfect dance partner for Jade Cargill. Lots of powerhouse. You now got to put her in the ring with powerhouses. You made that statement by putting Jade Cargill against Jordynne Grace. That was a dope match, and it was an interesting story, but it didn't last long. You know what I mean? And I think it didn't last long because, I don't know. I think there's something on Jordynne Grace that she needs to pull the trigger on. She's an excellent fucking talent, multiple champion in TNA, won all the fucking women's belts, but as far as promos goes, there's something missing. I don't know, maybe she needs to be a fucking heel. With her size, I think she'd fucking be killing it. Babyface, you gotta earn it, just like Roman Reigns did. So Rhea Ripley won the match. She is going to WrestleMania. She's going to challenge Jade Cargill for a title that she hasn't worn yet. That's the WWE Women's Champion. She was Raw Champion, SmackDown Champion. When it molded all to different belts, she won the Women's World title twice. You know what I mean? And now for the fourth year, Rhea Bloody Ripley, is going to be in a Women's World Championship for the 4th consecutive WrestleMania. She was there at WrestleMania 39 against Charlotte Flair. She was there at WrestleMania 40. Who the fuck was she against? Oh, she was against Becky Lynch. She was there at WrestleMania 41 against Bianca Belair and Io Sky. And now she's going at WrestleMania 41 against Jade Cargill. This is fucking exciting. I can't wait for that match. So I rated that a 5. Second match was Becky Lynch defending the Women's Intercontinental title against AJ Lee. I rated this a 4. I don't know. Didn't think it was. I thought it was a little too soon to put a belt on AJ Lee, but I think when you put a belt on AJ Lee, this will be interesting to take her to WrestleMania with, because she's definitely going to be at WrestleMania. She's definitely going to be defending that belt. It's about who and in what condition. You know what I mean? We could say it's a Becky Lynch. We could say it's a fucking Bayley. We could say it's who else? We could say it's an Asuka. What makes sense? I don't know. I think Becky Lynch should be in the conversation. Should be maybe like a triple threat or a 4 corners match. Something interesting. But AJ Lee having the belt, I think she did a pretty good job in the ring. Her promos definitely need some work on. I think with her husband, as one of the kings of this shit on the microphone, I think he should help tighten her up. The mental health special needs, whatever the fuck gimmick she be doing, it just lets too much dead air in between the fucking statements. You know what I'm saying? Between sentences, it drains. But I don't know. Now that she got the belt, she can test the waters out. Kudos to her. First singles match in 10 years. First title win in 11 years. So it could be an interesting road to WrestleMania. Next, I didn't mention nothing about this because I was like, what direction can you go? And I'm talking about that fucking box, that crate that was delivered to Raw and Adam Pearce, that got sent to Nick Aldis and SmackDown, back to Adam Pearce. And it turns out it was former AEW superstar Danhausen. With all that hype, I'm not going to lie, I was very disappointed. I got nothing against Danhausen. He was using AEW. He would pop up out of the middle of the ring. The matches were trash. It got a good, rise out of the crowd every time he would pop up out of the ring and say, "You've been cursed," So it's interesting, but here's my thing. Here's two things on this, and I'm gonna leave this alone. Three. I'll go three. One, for that much hype, this is what you fucking wanted to give us. And I'm talking WWE. They didn't even, AEW didn't even want to do anything to keep them. And this is what you gave us? Danhausen, this box? Really? I mean, so far, every fucking AEW superstar outshines this guy that got brought into WWE. I'm talking Ricky Saints. I'm talking Jordan Grace. I'm talking Ethan Page. I'm talking Sean Spears. I'm talking Jordan Grace. Oh, I already said Jordan Grace. I'm sorry. I'm talking, who else? I'm talking? Oh, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. Like, everybody. You know what I mean? That was disappointing. Second, the crowd booed. The Chicago crowd booed this shit. This was trash. And third, and most importantly, you don't give the deal of the century to one of the most talented, most iconic superstars in AEW that goes by the name of MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. You don't snatch this motherfucker up and you got this guy for fucking pennies? All it tells me is that you needed another comical gimmick to replace R-Truth. And if that's true, that's sad. Because seeing them two, R-Truth is going to outshine this motherfucker. Just saying. Moving on. CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. I rated at a 4. I thought the first match was actually better. This was just interesting. The I would say the finish definitely dragged, but you needed Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But you also needed Punk to perform at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. You needed it. You just needed it. But good match. Let me see. The men's Elimination Chamber match. This had Cody Rhodes. This had Javon Evans. This had Logan Paul, Trick Williams, Randy Orton, and even who else was it? I think that was all of them. Yeah, let me count it. Javon Evans, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Trick Williams. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Am I missing someone? I think that's all of them. Whatever. Maybe it'll come to me. Randy Orton got the win. I rated this match a 5. This was very entertaining. Shout out to Logan Paul with 3 back-to-back eliminations. That was awesome. Oh, LA Knight. There you go. I knew I was missing somebody. LA Knight. I know everybody's making that a big deal with LA Knight botching that elbow from the corner. I mean, it's slippery. It's fucking slippery. I mean, that botch, thank God it was a botch and it was not somebody breaking their fucking neck and accidentally falling on somebody. That was Elimination Chamber, guys. Let's be glad that, LA Knight is not injured and he can go to WrestleMania because he gave up one of the top 5 best matches at WrestleMania 41 last year. Well, we expected it. Let's go everything that we're not everything, but the main things that happened. So we had Masked Man pop out again. A guy we don't know because they unmasked him. But the return of Seth freaking Rollins popping out of fucking nowhere and deliver a super kick to the stomach and a stomp to Logan Paul and reveals himself. He is back. He is back and definitely back on time for WrestleMania. Definitely. We can't have WrestleMania without Seth freaking Rollins. Hopefully he can stop doing fucking coast to coast and landing on his shoulder. We don't need any more fucking injuries. It's bad we ain't got Braun Breaker. It's bad we ain't got Bronson Reed. We need to stop with this bullshit. But Drew McIntyre came with the belt, hit Cody in the head. Randy Orton gives him an RKO, followed by a crossroads by Cody. And as soon as that back was turned and turns back around to Randy Orton hits Cody Rhodes with an RKO for the win. Randy Orton going to WrestleMania 41. I'm sorry, WrestleMania 42. I'm so sorry. WrestleMania 42 and challenging for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania. But because Drew McIntyre stuck his fucking nose in that business, pissed off Nick Aldis has scheduled a match on SmackDown this coming Friday. Cody Rhodes challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, which is great. It's great. You know what I mean? Because he cost them the match. He cost them the Royal Rumble. He cost them the Elimination Chamber. I mean, we got to settle this. But apparently they're working on Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. If that's what we're going to get, if that's what they're really looking towards, I'm down. I think this was an entertaining run by Drew. Why not? I think Drew should still be a part of WrestleMania, but I think it's interesting. Who knows? We might get Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu, I think. Now let's reward the entrance, ring gear, and MVP and match of the night before we get into the final things of Raw. I got entrance of the night, Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley always has the best shit. Trick Williams, yo, this guy's on fucking fire with the entrances. Cody Rhodes, of course. CM Punk with the fucking Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls background music, entrance music, yo, that's fucking fire. That was fucking fire. I give it that. Ring gear, I gave it to Alexa Bliss. Rhea Ripley always has the finest gear. Tiffany Stratton, AJ Lee, dope gear. Finn Balor, definitely. LA Knight killed it. Randy Orton killed it. Cody Rhodes always again. CM Punk, all with the best ring gear of the night. MVPs of the night, I gave it to Raquel Rodriguez. Yo, I've never seen it done before. I've seen two people pinned at the same time before, but never in Elimination Chamber, especially the women. So shout out to Raquel, she killed it. Rhea Ripley for the win at the Elimination Chamber. Kiana James, I mentioned her before, what she was doing. Becky Lynch, definitely I gave her MVP because she carried the AJ Lee match. Let's just call it what it is. Javon Evans, he did a fucking dope-ass performance for his first go-around at the Elimination Chamber. Hope he is okay from that pulverizer by Logan Paul. Trick Williams, yo, yeah, this guy is always on fire. Logan Paul, definitely, three eliminations back to back. And Seth freaking Rollins by returning, just in time for WrestleMania. Match of the night, I give it to Men's Elimination Chamber. Obviously, there's no surprise there. Now, before we go, let's mention the shit that went down at Monday Night Raw. Seth freaking Rollins tricks the whole Vision, gets him chasing masked men, which gets him alone with Paul Heyman, long overdue, gives him the chair because they're in Indianapolis, where years ago, Seth Rollins broke the Shield up and gave chairs to all of them, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Gives not only a chair to the back of Paul Heyman, but stomps him to the point he's bloody the fuck up. They had to take him in a motherfucking ambulance. An ambulance that was driven by LA Knight, and a Vision couldn't even go because they got their asses kicked by Jimmy Uso, who is getting payback for what happened to Jey Uso, his brother. Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental title against Penta. Finally, Finally, we've seen them all be involved in the fatal four-way at WrestleMania 41 for the title. Dominic obviously stole that belt. Well, not stole belt. He just he capitalized on an opportunity. What else? The Monday after WrestleMania, Benta challenged them for the title. He didn't get it. Benta challenged them again at Backlash for the title. Benta been fucking trying to become number one contender, taking on Grande Americano, and before that, Rusev, chasing this Intercontinental Championship, and he finally did it after Danhausen cursed Dominic Mysterio. Benta is the new World Wrestling WWE Intercontinental Champion going into WrestleMania. Can you believe he was the challenger at WrestleMania last year, and it's a possibility he's going to WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion. Shout out to Benta. Settle middle. No fear. And the final thing out of here, CM Punk and Roman Reigns promo part 2. Roman Reigns took the dub last time. 100%. Right before Elimination Chamber. Punk said, first of all, we gotta call it what it is, because Roman said he was gonna retire him, put him on a retirement tour like John Cena, but Punk said, "Yo, you just made the list. Are you trying to say something?" We know what that means. But Punk said that you disrespect me, now I'm gonna bury you. And you won't be alone no more, since you always like to use your family to help you win matches. You won't be alone no more when I bury you, because I'm going to bury you next to your father. A lot of people liked it and a lot of people didn't. One of those people who didn't was Bully Ray, Bubba over there at Busted Open. And I get it. I get why. He said it was forced, but I don't know CM Punk to force any promos. So I think this was actually smart on Punk's part, because this is the OTC, original tribal chief. This little has-been that I came into this business pretty much behind. I'm not burying, he already used bury, but Roman's gonna fucking annihilate him, take his championship, all of that, easy. How does Punk always come after people? He attacks them psychologically. He did that with Roman last year. I mean, they were in a triple threat match with Seth Rollins. He did that last year. He took his wise men. That fucking not literally broke character, but that broke Roman out of his OTC shell. You know what I mean? When it came down to Seth, it was the world championship. It was his wife. Now he brought in his wife to fuck with him. It's a psychological warfare, and I think this was actually perfect. We got 6 weeks till WrestleMania, and this is going to get nothing but exciting. I can't fucking wait. But that's all we got for Wrestling Talk. I'm your boy, Eddie Jax. This is the Drop That Podcast. Make sure y'all hit that sub button, get that hype up, comment. Let me know what y'all think on this take, all right? This shit's going to get real fucking exciting for WrestleMania season. I'm your boy, Eddie Jax. I already told you. Drop That Podcast. We out. Peace.